Happy Sunday. This is Bobby and JJ Radio. Our first guest is Jobie Zapico. He is the owner of CrossFit Virilis in Schertz, Texas. Jobie, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, brother. So for us that don't know, tell us all about what CrossFit is, your location, all that kind of stuff.
What CrossFit is? How much time do I have?
You got like 19,
19 seconds. All right. No.
No.
CrossFit is a strength and conditioning program. It started back in 2001, actually. And it was developed by a guy out of California who was a failed academic, he'd tell you. And he spent most of his time just like personally training clients in like traditional gym settings, and then he went out on his own, and in order to just make it fit for the time commitment, he turned it into group sessions, and the methodology became something that was really impactful and really made a lot of changes. And it about a year later or so, somebody asked him if they could just use the name CrossFit. And here we are 16 years later, and it morphed into, like the greatest fitness trend ever.
And how'd you get into CrossFit?
So I played sports growing up, Football was my best sport, but I love all sports. I played football, basketball, ran track, baseball.
JJ plays soccer.
I did not play soccer.
JJ does.
No.
You don't play soccer?
No.
Okay.
Foosball.
Soccer's really great too.
Mm-hmm.
Played sports, high school, a little bit in college, and then came back home. I'm originally from the Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So went back home, and there was actually in the entire Valley, if you're familiar with the region, it's like something like 300 square. I don't know, it's ridiculous, right? There's a bunch of little towns, but in the entire Valley, there was only 2 CrossFit gyms, and one of them happened to be in my town. And so I went in, and it reminded me a lot of the stuff we did in football workouts. And so I was immediately hooked, right? Mm-hmm. And so I went to a seminar and learned all about it, and it was actually way more impactful than the stuff I learned at the university. So I was immediately hooked, and immediately thought it was, something that could really create a lot of change, and something I wanted to be involved in.
So I know you use the word hooked. There's this running joke that if someone is vegan and does CrossFit, which one will he tell you about first? Like there's this obsession where we have friends and family and stuff like that. Like the moment that they get into CrossFit, it's like all they think about. Yeah, it's all they talk about. Yeah. Talk about why you feel that is.
I think it's 2 reasons. A lot of people have some really, really great results with the program, right? I think the other reason is the group aspect of it. I write a lot of blogs for our gym, and you think about people who are recovering. It might be a terrible comparison, but I mean, it just makes the math easy. You think about people who are suffering from addictions. They would never tell them to like recover on their own, right? So the group aspect of things really creates a bond amongst people.
Sure.
And, CrossFit gyms and the people in them really become like a second family to the people that are there. The great line from the founder is, Navy SEALs, when they talk about their training, they'll refer to it as agony coupled with laughter. And it's the same kind of bond. People, when you're doing something really, really hard with other people, there's just an unspoken bond that gets formed there. So sure. That's probably, I think it's twofold. It's the results, and it's just the relationships they build.
So unfortunately, you're just gonna have to hear how many burpees he did this morning.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bobby's a little jelly because he tried it once. Didn't you try it one time?
I did it.
Good.
I was really good at it, by the way.
No,
Good.
He wasn't. He was
Mastered
sore.
it.
He was,
Mastered
and Bob's a thick dude.
If they do black belts, I probably had one.
If we have varying degrees,
yeah.
What is CrossFit black belt?
Well, his is that leather mesh one though. It's kind of weird where it loops down all the way down to his jabos. But like you tried it and you were, I had never seen you that sore in my life.
It worked for sure. The only thing is, why do they have to do it at 4 a.m?
That's a good. I would never wake up at 3 a.m. to go work a session.
Okay, I'm exaggerating. But
yeah, you are. I know. I was up at 4 a.m. this morning. So yes, we are.
Crack of dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to wake up the rooster.
We do.
And then go do CrossFit.
Yeah. So again, like each session's led by an instructor, right? So and people work, right? The only time of the day that works for some people is 5 a.m. So we got to be there.
So, I mean, Bob's fit, so he tried it. But what about other people that aren't so fit? Like, do they have to be fit
no,
to...
see, that's the thing,
I always talk about someone like, we talking about playing basketball or...
Yeah.
They're like, well, I need to get fit to play basketball.
No,
I'm like, not really.
No, you don't really need to.
You need to play basketball to get fit,
Yeah,
right?
or
So it's a
like,
chicken and the egg?
Yeah, that kind of thing. But, you could just stand in the corner and shoot threes, right? The Spurs will, find anybody to do that.
That's
but,
true.
no, that, people, like Bobby just said, he was like, well, I mastered it, right? So, no, I'm sure he did. I'm not disputing that.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sure he did. But,
a lot of burpees.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, that's where the misconception comes in, right? Is the competitive aspect of it. Like, don't get me wrong, the competitive aspect of it is great, and the stuff on TV is great, but the program was originally set out as, like I said, as a strength and conditioning program, and I've worked with people in wheelchairs, who have come into my gym and wanted to work out. So you name it, whatever ailment you might have, I can find a way to work around it. So you don't have to be fit to start at all.
What about people say that you're going to get hurt? I have heard, I'll be honest with you, the reason I haven't tried is because...
A lot of people get hurt doing it.
Oh, for sure. Don't get me wrong. Like, the movements are great and they're very impactful, but if I take you to a bad mechanic and you think just your brakes are messed up, you're going to end up paying like $3,000 for something you can't even pronounce, right? So are the movements great? Absolutely. But if they're taught improperly, if they're taught wrongly, you're going to hurt yourself. So, yeah, for sure.
You have a shoulder injury or a back injury.
Yeah. So,
those are the common ones.
Yeah, you just have to, like anything else, you have to find somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. And what about getting bulky? Does I know a lot of people stay away, like girls, for instance, they stay away from you. You think that it's a bulky issue when you're doing CrossFit?
That one's funny. I don't know how that one's. My guess is just because they saw some girl who was really muscular,
and then happened to put on her Facebook page.
Yeah, and they were like,
CrossFit.
"Oh, so that's exactly what's gonna happen to me." No, that's not the case. Could we do that if somebody wanted to do that? I mean, like I said, I've went to the university for that stuff, and through my own continued education, which we have to do. I could do that to somebody if that's what they wanted, but no.
Sure.
Like, you have to, number one, you have to eat a lot. Like, eating would be your second job. You have to eat so much to put on that kind of muscle.
And so we're coming into probably your busiest time next month, right?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
So what is it about New Year's that makes people? Because right now we go to Lifetime. I can park in the front.
Yeah.
I can park in the front.
You're good right now, right?
It's like handicap
you can throw
me.
grenades and not kill anyone.
Yeah.
It's empty.
For sure.
But in a couple
3 weeks,
it's gonna Lifetime. You have to park it on the street.
Yeah.
In January 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew what it was about resolutions that.
But it only
involve,
lasts about 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh no! By Valentine's Day.
Well, and again, that's why we do the group things, right? Because you go by the majority of people, they go by themselves, and they're like, "I'm gonna do this," and then 2 weeks into it, they don't have anybody to go with, and they're like, all right. It's just hard when working out's not fun. I don't enjoy working out. I'll be honest with you.
That's why the word working's in it, right?
Exactly. I don't enjoy working out.
Then I'll call it playing out. It's working out.
Right? I will do whatever I can to make sure I spend as little time working out as possible.
And so January is coming up. If someone wanted to get started, do y'all have any specials or anything like that?
Yeah, we're gonna do. Normally we charge $175 a month, for our monthly membership, but we're gonna do $99, and the reason being is we just want people to come out and really
try it.
Yeah, again, you don't have to be fit to do it, but it's just a lot more research is coming out, and hopefully in the next 5 years or so, people will really understand like how much your health is like on your shoulders, right, to take care of it. So
elaborate on that a little bit.
For the longest time, you would people would say like, well, even if I'm fit, I might get cancer or whatever, and so they're like, why bother,
or everything's hereditary, right?
Yeah, or it's all in my genes, exactly. Right?
I had a conversation with my cousin about this. He said exactly that. It was for me kind of victim kind of vocabulary where he's like, grandma died of diabetes, grandpa died of heart failure. I was like, I don't remember grandma having a personal trainer in her 40s. I don't remember grandma ever eating asparagus every morning. You know what I'm saying? Or egg whites.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember my grandmother like living in a panaderia, and that might have been why she lost her leg and died of diabetes.
You wonder, right?
Yeah.
Wait, sugar's bad for you? I had no idea.
No, but I hate that victim. Well, it's hereditary.
Yeah, and we get that a lot too. You know, the greatest. Here's next time somebody tells you, like, oh, it's my genes.
Yeah.
Just tell them this.
No, it's your big genes.
Yeah,
It's your
just
stretchy
tell them-
genes.
Just tell them, like, look, what happens if identical twins are born?
Oh, there's twin right there.
Are you a twin? Okay, so you take two twins, right? Identical. So that means their genetic code is their DNA
They're the closest possible.
is exactly
you can swap
the same.
parts.
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
swap parts.
Right?
One butter.
Yeah. Right?
One lettuce.
And you could have a twin and one twin be overweight.
That
and
would
the other
suck, dude.
Yeah, it would.
Right?
But
it'd be like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg in the 90s.
Yeah,
Remember
but that could happen.
The fat twin.
So explain. So if it is
It'd be
your
a
genetic,
thing.
if it is your genes, right? You would have to explain that. It's so easily debunked there. But yeah, people love to lean on the genes as, I just can't do it.
I think that goes back to breast milk.
Wow. All right. For more information about the CrossFit Virilis, that's VIRILS. You go to www.crossfitvirilis.com. You can also call them at 210-651-1047. Again, that's 651-1047. We'll be right back. Take a quick break. We'll be talking with some guys from Geekdom and Bobby and JJ Radio.